Yeah, and I am honored and blessed to have with me Lisa A. Winston and her life partner in love, Dr. Joe Vitale, Mr. Fire himself. I want to tell you a little bit about these people because they're so great. Lisa A. Winston is a gifted vocalist, very gifted. Number one international best-selling author. She's a TV host, inspirational speaker, a resilience host, which we want to talk a little bit about, and an artist of beautiful paintings. A life of extreme challenges, losing her home to wildfires, breast cancer, neuro Lyme disease, made her hungry for a deeper connection and is determined to find her true calling. Today, she shares the message of life is always happening for you, and the challenges are sent to refine you, not define you. Lisa produces many influential global summits and is regularly featured on national radio and podcasts and trainings. She co-hosts the Mindset Reset TV show, a weekly series which reaches millions worldwide, and is grateful to be a mom to her daughter, Sarah, and to live, teach, and speak across the globe with her soulmate, life partner, and love, Dr. Joe Vitale. And now I will introduce Dr. Joe Vitale. Dr. Joe Vitale is a globally famous author, marketing guru, movie, TV, and radio personality, a talented musician, one of the top 50 inspirational speakers in the world. His best-selling books include The Attractor Factor, Attract Money Now, Zero Limits, and his latest releases, The Miracles, 6 Steps to Enlightenment, and Anything is Possible. A popular leading expert on the law of attraction in many movies, including The Secret, Dr. Vitale discovered the missing secret, not revealed in the movie. He's been on Larry King Live, Donnie Deutsch's The Big Idea, CNN, CNBC, CBS, ABC, Fox News, Fox and Friends, and Extra TV. He's also been featured in the New York Times and Newsweek. One of his most recent accomplishments includes being the world's first self-help singer and songwriter, as seen in 2012 the Rolling Stones magazine. To date, he has released 17 albums. Several of the songs were recognized and nominated for the Posy Awards. Am I pronouncing that correctly? I hope. And which is regarded as the Grammys of positive music. Well known not only as a thinker, but as a healer, clearing people's subconscious minds from limiting beliefs. Dr. Joe Vitale is an authentic practitioner of modern Ho'oponopono. Sir, I hope I got that right. I've been trying to get that right for years. I hope I got that right. Certified Reiki healer, certified Qigong practitioner, certified clinical hypnotherapist, certified NLP practitioner, neuro-linguistic practitioner, ordained minister, doctor of metaphysical science. He is a seeker, a learner, once homeless, who has spent the last 4 decades learning how to master the powers that channel the pure creative energy of life without resistance, and creating the Miracles Coaching and Zero Limits Mastery programs to help people achieve their life purpose. Woo!
You're a pretty amazing guy.
You're amazing.
I'm impressed.
So
thank you. Thank you for the intros, and thank you for having us here.
Yes.
Thank you. I've got to ask you guys, how did you meet?
Who wants to go first?
We're a dating and relationship sort of show, and relationship covers a wide gamut of things. But how did you meet each other?
Well, we met in the same way you and I are conversing right now. She interviewed me over the internet for a summit she was putting on. Wonderful. And I was one of 20-some people that she was interviewing, and I do interviews virtually every day. But there was a connection. There was something we both felt in that interview. But because it was virtual, we didn't meet for
almost a year.
Almost a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was actually one of 30 people. It was a huge summit that I had done, and it was a really high energy summit. But when Joe talked about being the miracle, and everything he said just pummeled me. I was just like, it was such an amazing alignment and an elevation. And
that's wonderful.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that unbeknownst to us, I mean, we didn't know anything was going on other than, we thought each other were, I guess we thought we were cool. Each of us was cool.
Yeah, we thought we were
interesting.
Cute.
We thought we were cute. And then through a series of massive synchronicities, one of the things that we both do is, and I want to share this with the people who are into dating and relationship, is that, we follow our inner guidance. We follow those intuitive hits when they make no sense, when we don't know where they're going. We just trust that we're getting information, and we take inspired action. So that's really what led us to eventually.
Yeah, I followed her on Facebook after that interview because I was curious. And then I saw she was living in California. I was living in Texas, and I thought, well, we're not really going to cross paths. But then she was flying to San Antonio, which I was only about 30 minutes from. And I said, how about if we have a cup of coffee?
Oh.
And here we are, still having coffee.
Very cute, too. I have to tell you, I've seen you guys, doing a little bit of research. I'm just like, oh, they're so cute. All the videos and everything. There's so much love there. You can just feel
there
it.
Is a lot of love.
It really comes through the screen. And
it's definitely a soulmate relationship for sure. Yeah,
it is. And it's beautiful to see. So
you.
I want to ask you, can you tell us about, you're here together and you do a lot of programming. And I know because we've had the pandemic, it kind of shifted the way we're all able to do programming. But are you going to be going out on the road soon to do something similar to Miracle Mastermind Live?
Well, until
Miracles Mastermind Live.
Until the pandemic, I was traveling all over the world. And after Lisa and I met, I was taking her with me. But then, of course, she also got Lyme disease before the pandemic. And so she was left behind while I continued to travel. And then the pandemic parked me at home. And so we've been working together from home independently. She has her own career, her own coaching, her own book, her own material, and I do as well. And then we're working on things together. Yes. When the pandemic is lifted, we'll see where we're at. But right now, who knows?
I mean, he's had a lot of offers, but at this point, we're not traveling. Just there's too much unknown at this point.
Right. So. Now, you two together had something called On the Stage, didn't you?
That was her event.
That was my event.
That was your event.
I was there. Yeah.
He really helped support me because I was terrified to have my own first event. And I've been a vocalist for 40 years. And here I am, nervous about getting on stage. And so that was what the event was really about. It was in Austin. It was a great success. And we had a lot of fun. But he really is the wind beneath my wings because whenever I want to do something, he really supports me and encourages me. It's always just great to have somebody there, which really gives you the, you inspire me. And that's what.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
The event was a win-win, though. On the Stage was for people to overcome the fear of being on stage.
Yeah. Okay.
She had been a vocalist for 40 years, but she had not been a speaker on stage ever. I had been a speaker on stage for maybe 40 years, but I had never been a singer on stage. And so she got on stage to speak. I got on stage to sing. And so that's how it served both of us as well as everybody who attended it.
And I've been really blessed because I ended up having lots of, we were supposed to be in Europe for 5 weeks on a speaking tour, and I was part of that. So it was really exciting. But we've done a lot of virtual things at this point. So just a lot of good came from it. And it's kind of fun. It'll be fun to see what happens when all this lifts.
Yes. Well, you did the Miracles Mastermind was free online, wasn't it? That the two of you did?
Yes. You're talking about an event we were going to do in San Antonio. We were going to do it in San Antonio as a live event. But that's when the pandemic began to grow and people didn't want to fly. So we decided we were going to charge and do it online. But then even people were being reluctant to pay and do it virtually. We decided to do it for free. And we did this entire 2-day event. Lisa was the speaker. I was a speaker. I had a couple guest speakers. And we did it for free. We reached about 30,000 people.
Wow.
Which was what I call karmic marketing. We were giving, knowing in some way it'll come back to us in the future.
And how it will.
And it was so much fun. It was.
That was beautiful of you guys to give it together. And I know, speaking of some of the things that you do together, you're both talented musicians. Joe, I definitely, Dr. Joe, I know your music. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. And
Oh,
Lisa, your voice. My
Aw,
gosh.
thank you.
So I heard you on Instagram.
Oh.
And I didn't know you sang, and I was sitting there looking at the screen, just riveted. I'm like, wow.
That was my comeback, because I really miss, singing. And
that was spontaneous.
That was spontaneous.
She wanted to sing, and I picked up my phone and recorded it. There was no rehearsal. That was not in the studio. That was just her opening up. And I got chills.
I had lost somewhat of my voice with Lyme, and so thank God it's coming back now. All I have to do is strengthen it again. But that was kind of my
beautiful
comeback.
Beautiful. And so you guys have this amazing instrument. You got a really wonderful gift. Speaking of music today, Lisa, I saw it's called a strum stick, and you have the mama bear, and Dr. Joe Vitale has the papa bear.
Well, yep. I had these made as a surprise. Can you see that?
We can. It's
all right.
Beautiful.
Well, this is the papa bear. It is a mandolin body and a strum stick neck. There's only 3 strings here. It's easier to play. They are electronic. You can see there's knobs here. There's a pickup here. Okay. And I had one made. I don't try to show it. I had one made for her. And while it was being made for her, I thought, well, I should have one too. And so we have his and her. She has the mama. I have the papa. And the idea is that we could be making music separately and together and keeping our musical interests going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful. I love it.
We are going to do that. It's on our list. We have a big list.
Good. So, Lisa, it was funny because I was writing out that you are a resilience coach.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw you doing a live today. And I thought, oh, let me go see what Lisa's talking about today. And you're talking about how you may change the name. Can you explain to us what a resilience coach is and where you what you're thinking about doing with the name?
Oh, thanks for asking that, because it's really an exciting phase for me. I've been through so many different phases of my coaching and who I am and what I'm here to do, but I've been a creative for a very long time. I've been a watercolor painter for about 25 years and for 40, and it's really hard when you give up creativity because it's a part of your soul, and it really is something that elevates our vibrations. And so recently, resilience coaching is great because when you go through all this, we all have challenges. I mean, all of our challenges seem big to us. And so what happens is when things happen, which they do, and they're always going to happen, we usually fight against what comes, and it's because it's hard. But resiliency is really all about adaptability, flexibility, going with the flow. It's like a tree in a storm, it bends and it flexes. And that's what it's really important to learn to do, which is, it's difficult. It also involves surrender to a certain degree. But anyway, my art came back in a different way with a different medium not too long, a couple of months ago. And it was total divine inspiration. And I spent a whole lot of money on getting supplies, and I knew that I was supposed to do this medium of art. And so I got back into that, and I thought, resiliency coaching, how can I, mix the two? Well, creativity is a great way to open up your, possibilities, opportunities to your flow, your joy, which is what we need. So it's a great part of resiliency. But then just last night, I woke up and I said to Joe, I was up at 3 a.m, and for 3 hours, I was channeling all this information about how with resilience and struggle, that's really the old 3D paradigm. We are now moving into a 5D paradigm. We're elevating our vibrations. Things are changing. And so I was told that I'm supposed to be a bigger part of that. In other words, let go of the struggle and the resilience piece, because when people see that, they often equate all that with struggle. And instead of picking people up by the bootstraps or teaching them to do that, I am here to inspire people and to elevate people, elevate their vibrations, through creativity and other things. And so I will be changing my name soon. Probably, a soul expression coaches that came up by everybody. Love that.
I like that.
Because my painting, I know, because soul paintings are what I do too. So the two would combine. So it's really cool. I'm blessed and grateful. This is why it's so important to hear and follow your intuition, your inspired hits. And that's what Joe does for everything, taking inspired action. And then everything just starts to flow in. And that's when everything aligns and it works. So I'm super excited. Thank you for asking about that.
Oh, no. And what you're saying is so true. I've been a Dr.Joe Vitale fan for years, and now I'm a Dr. Lisa, Lisa Winston fan as well. I'm either being too familiar with Dr. Joe or too formal with you, but that's okay. In fact, I don't know if you guys can see it. I wore something that reminded me of one of your favorite pieces that was on Instagram.
Oh, wow.
Can't see it, but
a little bit.
A little bit. It's like the blues and the golds and I thought, oh, this looks like a Lisa Winston dress.
Nice. Very nice. I love that.
So, Dr. Joe, you talk about divine conspiracy.
Can
you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. When the pandemic started, a lot of people started talking about conspiracies, and they looked at everything in a very negative, terrible light. And I started thinking about it, and I said, well, there is a conspiracy here, but it's a divine conspiracy. And I turned it all around. I said the very fact that we were told to stay home and stay in our room is a little similar like being ordered to meditate. We're being ordered to go inside. On the outside, they say go in your house, but what it means to me spiritually is you go inside yourself. And when you're inside yourself, it's your chance to contemplate, meditate, create, reconnect with divinity. And I started to kind of speculate that maybe the divine is behind all of this. Maybe this is the world's time out. Maybe this is making us all reflect on, are we doing what we really want to do? Maybe it's not the outer work. Maybe we should be doing the inner work. And if there is a vocation, we've been complaining about going to work, most people, for the longest time. Now you don't have to go to work. You stay at home. And while you're at home, maybe you can reflect on what is your actual passion and purpose that could be your new work. So I looked at it like, yeah, our strings are being pulled, but by a spiritual source.
Okay. I love it, because that's how I felt. I went through, being inside. It gets a little depressing after a while. You're kind of like, okay, this has been real fun. I want to get out now.
Right.
You go through that thought that sort of just goes through your head in one side and out the other. But when we first went inside, I was kind of thinking, oh, goody, people are really going to get in touch with themselves, and couples are going to get in touch with themselves and with each other. And it's either going to be a very good thing for the coupleship or not, but they will grow as a result. So I loved hearing that. And I also liked you talking about once you know your passion. You mentioned something about then work isn't work, or I'm paraphrasing horribly, but it was on I can't think of Zero Limits. It was on a Zero Limits video, and you were talking about how to deal with work difficulties. And
well, my rule of thumb is when you are following what is your particular passion, to the rest of the world, it might look like you're a workaholic. But to you, you will be joyfully doing what you love. So for you, it won't seem like work. People look at me and they realize I've written 80 some books. And as you mentioned, I have 15 albums and I'm in 20 movies. And they might go, oh my God, does he ever sleep? And of course I sleep. I took a nap before this phone call even. And what I'm doing is following my love. I'm following my passion. So when you follow your love and you follow your passion, it might look discouraging to me, but it's your love and your passion, and for you it could be pure joy.
Yes I love it. So what can we look forward to? Are you going to be doing anything online or any clubhouses?
Gosh,
do you guys do Clubhouse?
Not yet.
We're behind the scenes. I was hearing Clubhouses and I thought, what? Another social media thing that I have to look at?
I know, but it's kind of fun. It's like a big podcast.
Interesting.
And people get on it and they talk and share, and the rooms fill up with people, and they get to listen to what you have to say. And it's interesting from a marketing perspective. It's interesting from a presentation perspective.
We'll
Yeah,
have
it's a lot of
to,
fun.
We'll check it out.
yeah, we'll check it out
Yeah.
because we honor what you're saying.
Yeah.
In
Yes.
terms of books, I just finished a book called Karmic Marketing, which is what I've been doing for 30 some years, and I'm finally going to explain it. But it's basically giving, understanding that the universe will bring back what I've given 10 times over in some sort of unexpected way. So I have a book called Karmic Marketing. Together, we've been working on something called the Healing Course. And that's because we both have had to go through lots of different healings, her in particular with the neural Lyme disease. And we've learned a lot that we want to share. And that will probably be an online video course. And then you're doing your painting and
my painting, and I still have another book in me that I want to do, and it's called Be Brave Enough, but it's going to be about neural Lyme and some other things. Like right now, I just want to share with your listeners that, like what you had said, when I did my art, I had an art class, a beginning art class, and it was scheduled for 90 minutes. It went 2.5 hours. That's what happens when you're in your flow and in your joy and you're just doing what you love. And the funny thing is that when I was brought back to my art, I thought, that traditional conversation around musicians and artists, you can't make money doing your art, right?
Yes.
And that's what I thought initially. Well, the more you do it, and if you're in love and in joy and in flow, I have to really create almost every day. It's like an obsession. That's when prosperity comes in. That's when healing comes in. That's when relationships come in. That's when everything changes. So even if you don't think you can make money doing something, follow your passion and your joy, and you will. So yeah, so we're working on lots of things.
And how is your turning point, your book?
How is that doing? Thank you for asking that. I love that book. I really do. It was channeled completely, and I wrote it while my mother was dying and I was taking care of her. And Joe was actually the person who helped me develop. When we met for the first time, we talked about a book, and he helped me to get my thoughts straight, because when you want to write a book, it's hard to come up with titles and chapters and, all that kind of stuff. So he really inspired me and supported me while I was doing it.
You sold the Italian rights.
I did.
Italian.
I just sold the Italian rights in April. It was published in April this year. Yeah.
And you came out with the workbook.
And the workbook, yeah.
Yes, the workbook.
And we do have a couple of things in Italian also. We have a couple of Italian books. But anyway, it's just a compilation of my chaotic, crazy life that I had led, and all of the things that led me to where I am now. A lot of talking about how to live by your intuition. A lot of exercises that I have in there that were channeled. I'm really transparent about a lot of things that I, may or may not have wanted to really write about, but I did because I thought it was important for people to know.
Thank you.
Change your message, right? So yeah, I love that book. It was
thank you for sharing, because you do open up and you share a lot, and it helps so many people, and Dr. Joe, you do as well. And thank you for sharing and for your karmic marketing. I'm sure I'm benefiting from it, and I will share it with others.
Thank you.
So it's just such an honor. And Lisa, you're on the Mindset Reset TV, correct? Mm-hmm. And this is your program. Can you tell us a little bit about that before we leave?
Oh yeah, real quickly. People can go to mindsetresettv.com, mindsetresettv.com. Yes. We've taken a little hiatus because of everything that's going on. And my co-host, Robert Clancy, actually went through a divorce after 30 years, and he moved to California. So there are a lot of things shifting and moving around. So we have, I think, about 2 or 3 seasons, and we have some more in the works, and we will get back to that. But that's distributed Women on TV Network, Easy Way Network. You can actually just see the episodes on mindsetresettv.com. And so we just have a lot of spiritual teachers, leaders, authors, producers, and people like that. It's a lot of fun. People should check it out.
Wow, we will. We'll look forward to it, and everything else that you two produce, which is a lot. It's a full-time job just keeping up with all the things that you come up with.
I can't keep up with him. He's the one that does a lot. Yeah,
I thank you so much for being with us.
Oh,
thank you for having us.
I'm so honored.
You're a joy.
I feel blessed, and I can't thank. I'm almost. I just really am honored, and I thank you so much for sharing.
You've always been supportive of me, and I remembered you, even though you interviewed me years ago. When she said your name, I said, I know her.
You did.
So thank you for being supportive of both of us.
Yes,
thank you. Thank you.
And let us know how we can support you. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. This is beautiful. So for Dr. Tranquility Talks Conscious Dating and Relationships. Look at this conscious couple. It's amazing to look at, and the love that they share. They're an inspiration and a motivation, a nice kick in the bum to get ourselves going so that we can get out there and find, you need to come out with something together about coupling and finding
Well, we
that
had thought about that at one point. So that's another thing.
So
We'll add it to the list.
yeah, really, right? But that would be unbelievable. You'd have, it would be unbelievable. Just you know how to do it, you guys, and it's beautiful to watch. So I thank you for being with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too.
And stay tuned, everyone, and we'll be right back with Dr. Tranquility Talks. Thank you.